So in this video we will talk about the companies itself. In the previous video we looked how we can add a company, the super admin roles and etc. So now in the previous video we added two companies, right? So company 1 and company 2, which had two different users. And over here, if I go to the users collection, and it will, we can see over here is we have the company reference itself for each of the users. It's the first company, and then the ID is also different, is the second company. So let's get started with the any of the admins. So let's say we start for admin 1. The password is always the same, as I didn't change the password. So I logged in, and you can see the login request was successful, and then I log into the system using my token. So I log out, and then I authorize myself again. So now you can see I will able to use the system as an admin. Oh, okay, so what are the roles of an admin? The roles of an admin is basically to add users manually, add properties and add units. So for add units we will talk about later. So let's go through how we can add a user and what are the types of a user we can add. Okay, so if I go to my code over here, and then if I go to the users model over here, this is my users model. All the users will have the same model. So you can see some of the types are over there. We have tenant, we have manager, accountant, admin, super admin, and etc. Admin will be able to create another admin, even though it won't be considered as an admin, but still the user will be can use the system as an admin. We can create managers, multiple accountants. We can't create a tenant directly. So let's just get started with creating a user. So I'll set myself as manager 1, and over here I have myself on manager 1, and I won't change the password, as we need I want this to be common. So I create a user. So you can see the request was successful, and then if I go to my DB over here, so if I refresh my database, now you can see it says manager 1, and the company type is over there, which is D8. It's the same company, D8. And if I go to the companies collection, in the first company that where we added the user, you can see the users has two units, two data, two items inside of the users array. The first one being the admin, and the second one is the manager that we added just now. So this is how we can add a user, manager, and etc. So let's say we want to add an accountant. It's a similar process, accountant, and then we just copy this, accountant 1. That's it. And obviously we need to change the role, because this is how we can define out the user role to the system. So we want this accountant as an accountant. So I'll just hit my API, and over here we can see it created the user, and also it created the role as an accountant over here, the company being the same, D8. And if we refresh the companies collection, the user was added to the users collection, and the reference was added to the companies collection of that specific company. Over here we have the user right now, which was FF7, the last 3 digits. So you can see the ID being the same, the last 3 digits is FF7. So this is how we can add multiple accountants, multiple managers, and etc. So this is one of the roles of an user, of an admin. So now let's get to the main part, which is basically adding a property. So a company can have as many properties as it want. It doesn't matter the count of the property, it doesn't matter. So let's say I create a property which is property 1, and I'll just set the address as P1 city. We don't need. And over here you can see it says units count. So why does it matter? So if I want inside of this property I want 10 units, but let's focus on the first thing. Over here I can see the user, the admin, or the property manager can add the property. So over here I'm saying that the units count is 10, and the company is allowing 100 units, right? So if I say that we need 101 units, definitely it will throw me an error saying that it surpassed, the total units of the property cannot be greater than the company's allowed units. We can't do that. So we can either add the units to this amount, or the amounts it allows. So let's say I create a units. So just this, and maybe this property has units of 25. Okay, I'll just add this, and you can see over here it will hit the API, and the API request was successful. The property 1 was added, and the company reference was added, and then the unit occupied units is 25. Occupied units is 25. And if I go to the companies collection over here, so, and I refresh the database, you can see over here the properties was added. Okay, that's the thing we want to see. That's how we can add properties, and also we can get specific properties. That is not necessary for now, just simple things. And also we can get we can get paginated results from the DB, searching by name, address, units count, occupied units count, blah blah blah, etc. If I don't hit any of this, I'll just get the request. You can see over here, if I say property 2, definitely it won't work as the name is different. So the request didn't work as it's expecting something. So if I say property 1, it will work. You can see it was added, and the property 1 was added. Property 1 we got. So basically that's the pagination that we are currently looking for. So that's how an admin can create properties, and also an admin can add units. So for adding a unit, first thing we need is the property reference itself, where we want to add the unit. Where do we want to add the unit? To which property do we want to add the unit? So if I go to the properties collection, let's say I create two properties just for the sake of testing. So property 2, this let's say this has 30 units, something like that. Okay, I hit the DB, and property 2 was added. So over here I refreshed my database. So now I have two properties. So let's say I want to add a unit for property 1. I give the reference over here. So I say the description as unit 1. Unit number is, this is very very important. I'll explain in a moment why this is important. So just let's just add a unit first. So if I hit my API, and unit 1 was given, so it will take some moment, and unit 1 was added. So over here you can see the property reference was also added, component reference was also added, something like that. And also now if I hit my properties collection, we can see another thing on the left side. We can see the units collection was added, the units was added to this collection. But the thing I wanted to show you is inside of the units property, inside of each property, I have a units array which contains the reference, the associated units to each of the properties. So that's that. Now let's say I want to create another unit 2, but I didn't change the unit number. Yeah, the unit number stays the same for the same property. So if I want to add another property unit, so it will throw me an error. The given unit number already exists for another unit number. Try giving another unit number. So if I hit change my unit number, like give something random, like 10B, something like that. So if I hit my DB, now it will take some moment, and the unit 2 was added. Okay, so if I go to this collection, units collection, over here I have 2 units that we added for property 1. Okay, so now I want to add a property for property 2. Now here comes a case handling that we need to handle. Is basically for property 2, let's say I give this, I change the reference, property 2 was given, but if you guys remember, the unit number that we used so far is 10A and 10B. So I give 10A, so, and I change the property to unit 1. Okay, so if I change just give it something distinct unit 1. Okay, so if I change this, okay, this was added. So by the validation that we are currently doing is it will throw it's supposed to throw an error saying that this unit number that we can't use, but it won't throw an error because for each of the properties the unit number needs to be distinct, but for another property we can use the similar property number. So it added the property number. So how we are validating this, So we are using a mongoose aggregation, MongoDB aggregation. So over here I have my code running open, and if I go to the unit services, I have my APIs, the models, and etc. Everything's over there. So I have my Rail, which is the aggregation pipeline. Over here what it does is basically the property, it basically validates everything together, the user's company, the properties that we have provided, does it belong to the same company or not. Then we are validating the property, does, if the property does exist or not, and after that we are matching the property again. And then inside of the units collection, for each of the same property, we want to get, and also we are validating that the given property has the inside of the given property that we want to get the units, some partial info. Why do we need that? Because we want to get inside of each of the properties, we want to get the properties unit, each of the properties units number, because we want the unit numbers to be distinct. We want the units number to be distinct. So over here I'm getting, what I'm doing is I'm filtering out through each of the unit, and I'm validating it, and after that I'm getting, I'm just saving this unit number inside of an array same named as unit numbers. Now over here, while and I'm projecting that specific field, and after that, once I'm adding a property, I'm just checking if the given property number, unit number exists inside of the unit numbers array or not, if it does includes or not, and if it includes, that means it will throw me an error. So basically that's how we are validating it. Just a simple process, nothing complex going on over here. So that's how we can add a unit, simple as that. So this is for this video right for now.